Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Susie. In today's video, we're going to get back to some thrift flips. So let's go ahead and get started on the projects. Project 1 is a very simple project. I had this metal tree candle holder and it had just a really rough green paint on it, and all I did was take it outside, spray paint it with some white paint, and then I'm going to come back in and de-stress all the edges with sandpaper to bring back a green on all the edges. Don't forget that when doing thrift flips, sometimes all they need is a fresh coat of paint, and white paint can go a long way into turning something old and dated looking into something gorgeous that goes with any style. This is cute with a candle in it. I just stuck a bottle brush tree in it, but there's a lot of things you could put in here, and I just love the way it turned out. Project number 2 has a little bit more detail, but we're still just gonna paint it. So I found this sleigh last year while thrifting, and what drew me to it was the green color, but it doesn't go with my more traditional Christmas style. So I'm gonna give the entire thing a coat of Dixie Belle Barn Red. I love this red for the holidays. It is my favorite red. It is so bright and vibrant. I'm going to go over the whole thing with one coat of this red paint. After the paint has dried, I'm going to come back with a damp cloth, and I am just going to bring back the silver. I'm going to be very careful not to get underneath to the green, and just bring back all of that silver as much as I can distress back, and just really bring out the silver underneath the red. Once I'm done distressing, I'm going to give it a coat of Clear Gloss by Dixie Belle. I stressed out just a little bit here because I was afraid it was going to pile up and not dry clear, but thankfully it dried completely clear, and this thing is absolutely majestic looking now. What do you guys think about painting this sleigh red? For my next project, I found this basket at a flea market. Looks like it was purchased at Walmart many years ago from the tag. It's held up very well, and I just thought it needed a little update. So Mason took it outside and spray painted the entire thing white. That is just the easiest way to paint baskets, is to spray paint them. I'm going to be using the jingle mold on the little ceramic plate in front of it, and I wanted to use the bells and make some silver bells. I'm going to be using some air dry clay, and I'm going to be stacking these molds one on top of each other, and I realized here that it wasn't coming out as easily as my molds do. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot the cornstarch. So if you're wondering, they do come out without the cornstarch, but it is so much easier to get the molds to release if you dust them with some cornstarch first. So I did the 2 bells, and then I did remember the cornstarch, and I went back and I did the bow as well. It is very easy to use the air dry clay in these molds. They have the micro rim, so all you have to do is clean off all the excess until you're left with your mold, and they are so easy to pop out. Normally, I would just sit these on my surface and let them dry and then paint them and then glue them on. However, I'm going to be stacking these on top of each other, so I needed to go ahead and glue them on and let them dry that way. So I went ahead and gave them 1 coat of paint just so I could get it on the edges without getting it on my little ceramic square there. I'm giving the bells a coat of mineral chalk paint just to get a layer of some gray underneath the bells, and then I'm going to paint the edges of the bow in the barn red that I used previously on the bow. Once the paint has dried a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and glue the molds on. And like I said, I'm going to stack them on top of each other. So I'm giving a good coat on the underneath of Tite Bond glue. This is by far my favorite glue. It holds really well, and it gives a little bit of an instant hold where they don't slide around like Gorilla Glue does. I let my paint and my molds dry overnight, and then I'm going to come back and touch up the rest of the bow with red. And I'm going to take a metallic silver and just go over the gray to give them more of a tarnished silver look. Also decided to put a little bit of silver just to tone the red down just a little bit. And this little basket's turned out so cute. I am using it in my room to throw my gloves and my hat in, or you can just hang it for decoration and put some greenery in it. Okay, so somehow I have ended up with bukus of these red shiny apples. They're not in the greatest shape. Paint's coming off of them. So I didn't want to just throw them away. I thought surely they can be used for something. So the first thing I did is pull out the green leaf and cut off the wire stem. And then I'm going to paint all of the apples with some baking soda and paint mixture. This is the mineral chalk paint and baking soda. I want to give these a cement look, make them look a lot heavier than they are. And also I decided to go ahead and mix up some celery and the baking soda and make these little green apples as well. It took 2 coats of this paint baking soda mixture to cover them well. And then once the paint had completely dried, I'm going to go over them with my homemade white wax, and all that is some Waverly clear wax with a little bit of white paint in it. I love the DIY white wax and how smooth it is, but for a project like this where I'm going to be using a good bit of it, the Waverly is much more cost efficient, and luckily this did not pull off any of the paint because it had the baking soda in it to make it adhere a little bit better. So now these apples have really cool texture. I like how the paint job turned out. I did, however, get some paint on the stems, so I'm going to go back in, touch up all the stems with some gray paint. And then for the final part, I have cut some different colored ribbons, and you could use any color combination, would look great on these. This is just something I had nearby. It's a gold ribbon, and then I did some of the buffalo checks. I'm just going to glue a combination of those two on each apple. And these can be used as great fillers for putting in vases. They can sit just 1 or 2 around, just little simple decorations to use in your decor. So recently at an online estate sale auction, I bid on a lot of things, and all you have was one picture of the big lot. This faux book stack was in it, and it's really just a little box, and so I wanted to give it an update, but I knew I couldn't do like I normally do my book stacks, so we're going to do a little bit of something different because this one can actually be opened and used for storage. So we're just going to paint it up with a couple of coats of white chalk paint. I'm going to do the fronts, the backs, the insides, the spines of the book, and get it really covered really well all over with 2 coats. Once the paint is dried, I'm going to come back in and distress all the edges where you can still tell that it is books. So I'm going to go around all the edges and distress those really well to bring back that book detail. And then to give the book pages a little more worn look, I'm just going to take some antiquing wax and go over the sides on the book pages and then wipe it back. So for this project, we're going to be using the IOD Cozy stamps. Y'all, I cannot get enough of this stamp set. I absolutely love it. The words and so many of the little trees and stuff are in this needlepoint pattern. So we're going to put the word snuggle up on the spine of the book. I am using the tomato color ink from IOD, and you just stamp it onto your stamp. Use a thin mount. I have some cut up in several different sizes that I can use, and then you just press the word onto your surface and use your finger to rub down to make sure that all of it is transferred onto your project. While we're at it, we're going to put the coffee cup on top of the book stack. That's one of my favorite things to do, is drink coffee and read when I have a chance, which is very rare. So I'm doing the coffee cup in some black ink, and y'all, this has so much detail to it. Just look how perfect it comes out. And then I am going to use the Stay Cozy wording to put near the coffee cup. No, sweater weather. Sorry, there is a Stay Cozy, but this one says sweater weather, and I started with black and then decided to use the red ink. Okay, so y'all know the mask that comes with some of your stamps. Full disclosure, being honest here, for the longest time, I had no idea what to do with them. I've kind of seen a few videos, and so I figured it out, and I'm going to show you guys this neat little trick. So a lot of the stamp sets come with these masks that cover each of the stamps, and that is so you can stamp another stamp over the top of it, and it looks like it is going behind. So I'm going to use this pattern. Again, it's more of the needlepoint. I love it. I'm using the green color and just stamping right over the coffee cup, and you'll see when I finish it here and remove the mask, it looks like it is underneath the coffee cup. There's so many different combinations you can do this with. I'm still playing around with it and learning it, but it's a lot more fun and gives a lot more dimension to your stamps. So this is just a fun, another way to do a book set. I like the way this turned out. Goes cute with a coffee cup and a couple of bottle brush trees on a nightstand. For today's last flip, you may see a frame flip in all my videos from now on until I can get through my frame stash. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's one of my favorite ways to create Christmas art. I don't know if y'all have been in the Dollar Tree lately, but they have the cutest bags and boxes for gift wrapping. And if you'll notice, all those have cute artwork on them. Now this one here I bought especially for this, and this is another set of the frames, and I got a huge lot of them in that online auction. All of the prints in them, some of them I like. I'm definitely keeping those ducks as they are because that is cross-stitched. These are pretty. I broke that frame, so I may have to come up with something else there, but I thought those would be cute for spring. But this one I'm not sure about. And definitely I'm keeping this one as is. I got all of these for like $3, and they're all professionally framed, all beautiful frames. This one I did not care for at all, so we'll probably do something with that frame. But for this project, this is the one I'm going to use. See how amazing this is framed? So all that I'm going to do is unscrew the hanging mechanism, and then I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and carefully cut off the paper backing. And once you do that, it's just as simple as putting a new picture in a frame. But I'm going to use this gift bag. I did pay $4 for this gift bag, but I love the Santa on it. He's very vintage looking. So I'm going to cut the gift bag down to size using the cardboard backing. Looks like they paid like $40 for this in 01. So just be careful when you're removing your glass not to break it. I will save this mat because even though it is purple and I probably will never use that color, mats can be painted. So I'm just going to use the mat to trace out my Santa photo and carefully cut him out of the bag. And then it's just as simple as putting him in the frame, putting the backing back on. I did tape him in place just to keep him from moving around, putting the backing back on, closing it up, and reattaching the hanging mechanism. If you were going to be selling it, you could put some paper back on the back just to clean it up some, but I like keeping these for myself, and I'm not concerned with how the back of anything looks. So that is all for my thrift flips today. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this video and these flips. Please let me know in the comments below which was your favorite. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. That just helps my YouTube grow. And I appreciate you guys watching so much. You have no idea. And I will see you again next week.